Hey guys, so today I'll be showing you how to do a men's cut. This is inspired by Ryan Reynolds and a few other celebrities with a similar haircut. I would also dare say that this haircut is very similar to a high and tight. It's not quite a true high and tight, but very similar. So I am taking a number 2 guard on my clippers and going from bottom to top and rocking out my clipper when I reach the top. Now, if you look at the head, there is a bone that sticks out. That is where you really start to rock your clipper out, because if you didn't rock your clipper out and you just pulled it straight out, you would have a shelf that can be very difficult to blend. Now, here's just a little bit of a tip while using clippers in a haircut. Sometimes they are not the most reliable thing to use and can often skip hairs or miss hair. So I like to go in a few different directions and angles just to make sure that I'm getting everything cut to the same length. Now, I went back and I looked at the haircut my husband wanted, and Ryan Reynolds' haircut is blended a lot higher than what I was thinking at the very beginning. So I had to go back in with my clippers and go higher. Since I went higher, I just went straight up with the head because it gives me a nice clean angle. Since Ryan Reynolds' haircut is kind of like a high and tight and kind of like a faux hawk, I'm starting my guide on the side of my husband's head because I will meet with it later on in the haircut to make sure that it is a nice clean angle and give him a nice clean cut. If you don't know what a guide is, basically a guide is your reference point or the piece of hair that you go off to make sure that everything gets cut evenly. Most of the time, my guide is my first cut. So what I'm doing now is I'm going down the center of his head because I will take that point and my guide and match them up because the middle is what will be the longest and the sides will be the shortest. From that point, I will make sure that they meet at a nice clean angle because with Ryan Reynolds' haircut, that is what he had. Now, as I continue cutting, I keep checking all my sections because sometimes it is very easy to miss, and you can definitely tell when little pieces are a little bit longer than others on a men's haircut. It just sticks out, you can definitely see it. Now, when I'm just about ready to blend the whole haircut together, I love to go back in and double check all my sections and all the hair one last final time because I want to make sure that everything is the correct length. So here's a quick little tip that I want to give you guys. With any men's cut or a shorter cut, make sure that you're checking the cowlicks if they have any, just because a cowlick lays in a circle, so sometimes it gives the illusion that the hair is a different length when it's really not, or it looks like it is the right length and it's not, so just make sure you're checking that. So now I am ready to blend his haircut together, and blending a men's cut can be the most difficult thing ever. It took me quite a little while to learn how to blend a men's haircut. So I'm starting at where my clipper left off. I'm taking my comb at an angle with my scissors, and I take the shortest piece and blend it and graduate that line so that it just blends everything completely together. It can take a little bit of practice, so don't get frustrated. Practice makes perfect, I promise. With Ryan Reynolds' haircut, he had a lot of texture up through the top of his haircut, so I took my thinning shears and just thinned out the top a little bit. I put my comb underneath the thinning shears so I didn't remove a ton of bulk because I didn't want to have bald spots in the haircut. But now I am just cleaning up the edges just a little bit with a trimmer. I like to use trimmers instead of clippers because trimmers are a lot smaller so they can get into the little tiny areas and really clean up the little edges. I like to clean up around the ears and get the little hairs behind the ears and then clean up the neckline. Sometimes I will clean up his sideburns and the length, but a lot of the time I will just let him do it because he does it when he shaves. With cleaning up the neckline, you can do it rounded or squared. I like to do his squared on the bottom and rounded on the edges. He likes that as well. So I start my guide and just make sure it's clean and straight across. Now, what I like to do is I like to blend the line just a little bit at the base of his neck so it just looks a little bit more natural. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a big thumbs up. Also, if you'd like to see more fun hair stuff, let me know down in the comments below what you guys would like to see. Do not forget to subscribe, and we'll certainly see you tomorrow. Bye, guys!